Good morning, Tar Heel students. So this is a read aloud for the ancient Greek Olympics. There are many theories about how the Greek Olympics began. One such story tells the tale of Pelops, a prince from Asia Minor, now Turkey, who sought the hand of Hippodamia, the daughter of the king of Pisa. An oracle told the Pisa king that one day he would be killed by his son-in-law, so he devised a plan to do away with this suitor. In fact, he had already gotten rid of 12 other men who had asked to marry his daughter. An excellent charioteer, the king invited Prince Pelops to compete in a chariot race. He promised that if the young man had won the race, he could marry his daughter, Hippodamia. If, on the other hand, he lost, Pelops would be beheaded. Now the prince already knew about the other 12 suitors, and knew the king felt very sure of himself. So the prince thought of a way to win by secretly replacing the bronze linchpins holding the wheels on the king's chariots with pins of wax. When the king tried to pass Pelops during the race, the wax pins melted, causing the wheels to fall off. The king was thrown from the chariot and died instantly. Pelops then married Hippodamia and organized the first Olympics to celebrate his victory and honor the memory of his father-in-law. Whatever the reason, the ancient Olympics are thought to have begun as early as 1200 BC, but records were not kept until 776 BC. From these records, modern-day historians have learned much about the ancient games. They were held every 4 years in the city-state of Olympia. At first, they only lasted 2 days, mainly because there was only one event, the foot race. Over time, more events were added, such as boxing, discus throwing, horseback riding, chariot racing, wrestling, and the pentathlon. Athletes traveled from as far away as southern Spain and the east coast of the Black Sea, as well as from the all Greek city-states to showcase their talents. People also came from all over to watch the games, filling the stands with tens of thousands of cheering fans. The Olympics were actually religious in nature, held to honor Zeus, king of the Greek gods. In fact, the Olympics were more like a religious festival. Ceremonies were held and sacrifices were made to the gods. The Greeks believed athletes received their talents from the gods, so they prayed for victory and thanked them for their successes. Ancient Olympic athletes lived according to very strict schedules. In addition to their tough physical training, their diets were also restricted to water, cheese, milk, and sometimes fish and meat. Women were not allowed to participate or even attend the games, although there was one exception. A father training his son, a runner named Pistorius, for one of the early games, suddenly died. The young man's mother, not wanting her son to miss his chance to compete in the upcoming games, stepped in to help with training. After months of hard work, the day of the race arrived. After all she had done to prepare him, the woman wanted to see her son compete so badly that she disguised herself as a man and went to the stadium. When he won the race, the mother screamed, cheered, and jumped up and down in excitement. As she did, the hood covering her long hair fell backwards and exposed her to all the men around her. She was seized and brought before the Olympic judges. Although the penalty for her actions should have been death, the judges pardoned her when they learned she had trained an Olympic champion. The rule regarding female participation was only one of many. Athletes in their home cities had to pay hefty fines if they were caught bribing fellow athletes or judges, breaking training rules, or showing any fear, such as backing out of an event. The athletes were required to arrive in Olympia a month before the games began. Failure to abide by this deadline resulted in a fee. The most important rule was the sacred truce. All cities involved agreed to stop any war being fought at the time to allow athletes and spectators to safely travel to and from the games. Fees for these and other offenses were usually paid in the form of golden statues to honor Zeus. These were left in Olympia after the games. The winners of each event received nothing more than wreaths of olive branches. However, some of the cities honored their Olympic heroes with statues in their honor or by paying poets to write verses about them. A simple wreath in the honor of victory was enough for the athletes at first. But as Greek society began to decline, athletes demanded bigger rewards and became more interested in money, not honor. Eventually, bribery became common, and by the end, the ancient games became more like a circus than a festival, losing its religious and sacred atmosphere. Be sure to complete the Venn diagram comparing ancient Greek Olympics to modern Olympics using the CAMI extension, and write your responses in a complete sentence. Thank you so much.